When I first saw this 11 and a half years ago, I was in multiple businesses. I was working very hard. Anybody work hard here? I was working, 60, 70, sometimes over 100 hours a week. I remember I used to have a couch in my office I would sleep on. It was pretty great. But from the outside looking in, you think that I was successful. And you could argue that from different perspectives. But for me, I was exhausted. I was tired. I'm thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to earn income. And that's when literally that week, my best friend, Mr. Mar Singh, calls me to show me this business. And when I sat down and I saw an opportunity to have a business, back then it was only long distance, that I could build a residual income all over the world. And at other services, we go along for $500. It only made sense to me. And it was like, part-time business. I started putting in a few hours a week. But let me tell you the funny part. I was putting in a few hours a week, but I wasn't very good. Anybody can relate not being very good. Thank you. Welcome to my life. Okay? So I wasn't very good for a couple of years. I struggled. I struggled to make money. I didn't understand the network marketing industry. Didn't really get it. I didn't understand the part about duplication and what that meant. I didn't understand the importance of a whole meeting and what that means to have everybody do a whole. I didn't get these things. I didn't understand the power of these events and how powerful they are. I didn't understand any of that. It took me a while to learn. It took me a while to learn the language. What do you say to be an effective promoter, an effective inviter, an effective person that gets customers in ACN? So I had to learn the language. And learning the language can be fast or slow. Okay, so how do you learn fast? You record somebody who's really good, copy it over and over again until it's yours. How do you do it really slow? Never do that. So for the first couple of years, I didn't do that. I was making up my own language. Can anybody relate? That we know is not effective, yet we still do it anyway. Why? I don't know. So what I learned is, okay, what if I just copied good people, like listen to what they're saying when they're training on stage, listen to their presentation, copy it, repeat, copy, repeat, and pronounce, and just keep doing that over and over again. So I turned my car into a way to learn how the top people present. Because if you notice, there's a way they say certain things that if maybe you and I say it in a slightly different way, has a totally different meaning. Who's noticed that? Right? So I learned that every little word makes a difference. Everything we say impacts somebody in a powerful way. And one of the things I had to learn how to do was how to launch an IBO. How do you get somebody started in the business and create real duplication? Because here's what I finally figured out. However I start someone is how they're going to end up doing and starting and launching their own business. So if I didn't do a good job at that, then the whole thing can go off kilter, okay? So I had to learn that launching somebody was very important. The problem is I never launched the two people the exact same way ever. So we had to learn. And over time, the system develops and the system develops. So what I want to go over today is how you launch an IBO. Who would like to know how to launch an IBO? Right? Who would like to know that? Okay, how do I sit down? When I sit down with somebody, how do I pretend I'm with you? In fact, let's do that. Who would like to be launched today? Would you like to start your own business today? All right, so how many of you right now, let's be honest, are not happy with your ACN business and would love to start all over again but where you are now? Raise your hand if you like to do that, okay? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to launch you today. So everybody take out a piece of paper and a pen, and you're going to be officially launched. And so now none of you can ever say, well, I wasn't ever launched. No, now we're going to end that. Because today will be the day, whether you were properly launched or not, doesn't matter. It starts with you right now, and you can have the responsibility moving forward of doing it correctly each and every time from now on. Do we have a deal? All right, so let's do this, okay? So the goal of launch. Let's first talk about the goal of the launch. So you understand the experience I want you to go through as I'm going through this. Number one, that the IBO is super excited to do a whole meeting. To me, if I do a launch and that person is not super excited to do a whole meeting, and is packing their home meeting, I did not do a good job at the launch. That to me is the most important goal of a launch, okay? That they get some confirmations that they're scheduled. I've scheduled a 72-hour. Now, some of you don't do a 72-hour call on your team, that's fine. I happen to do a 72-hour call only because I like it. I think it's more effective, but it's up to you whether you do it or not. And then you signed up their own services. So if you can get all that done at a launch, you've been very effective. Now, if you notice, QTT is not on that list. Now, some of you, it's okay that that's on your list. It's not on my list for a launch, and I'll tell you why. Let me ask you all a question. What's more important for a new person? That they get qualified with 5 points, or that they get a new IBO on their team? New IBO on the team. What good is it if they get qualified with 5 points and never recruit or get a customer ever again for the rest of their life? What was the point of recruiting that person? To me, the point of recruiting someone is that I quickly can get into their warm market and continue the trend. If I can do that, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I did because I kept the chain going. Because here's the reality: not everybody's going to want to do what they say they're going to do. Not everybody's going to stay in the business long term. Some are going to quit. Some are going to keep going. Very few get to the top. So what I've learned is we have a limited time with the folks that we're launching. We're getting started. Let's take the most advantage of that. So let's talk about what you start with. What do you got to bring with you? I would bring a laptop or a tablet to get them signed up. Make sure you can get internet access with that as well. And then your calendar. You're going to need your calendar when you're signing somebody up. The second thing is that the IBO brings with them a completed customer survey. Now, why I like them to bring a completed customer survey is, number one, I'm training them on how to complete the survey. Number two, I can quickly look at their services to see what they have. Because here's the thing that I'm going to pay attention to when I'm launching them. I'm going to look at their services, and if I see that I've got 2 or 3 services I can get really easy, I'll get them right there. But sometimes you'll notice, sometimes they're on a contract, it's going to cost them a lot of money, or this and that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with them on their services if I think it'll be a hard sell for them. Because what's more important to me is we pack their living room. That's more important, because think about this. If I've packed their living room, or they've packed their living room, they sign up 2 to 3 IBOs, how much more likely do you think they're going to want to get all their points, number one? Number two, if they pack their living room, I am going to get them their customers. That's why we pack the living room, to get good at getting customers in the living room, okay? So that's why I have the survey form. Now, the other thing I like to do before I start asking them questions is start with a structure for success. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of you have your own team and team websites. Let them know what that team and team website is. If you have a weekly email that you send out and register, send that out as well. Okay? Let them know. Sign up for it. Where to find their team documents. So if a lot of you have teams and team documents, let them know where that is. Some of you use the ACN one. Great. Show them how to do that once you got them signed up. Team conference calls. And then enroll your new person in your upline. Why is that? Well, a lot of you have upline RVPs and SVPs that you can get them excited that there's a support structure behind you, that they're here to help you. I like to give them the knowing that they've got a lot of good stuff, a lot of people there to help them and help them to support them, okay? And then sign them up as the IBO, and then get their online store started. Now, when I get their online store starting, I'm like the weirdest cheerleader you've ever seen. So I'm always like excited for them. Like, all right, you're about to sign up your store. Okay, here you go. Pick your name. What name you want to pick? Oh my God, this name is going to go worldwide. What's the name you want? I want this name. Great, let's put it in. Okay. Then you go, oh my God, here it comes. Ready? Submit. Ta-da! You're global. Congratulations. Oh, they're all excited, you know, because guys, how often you get to own a global company? How often you get to go click and now you have a worldwide company all over the world that allows you to get customers and to franchise to other people? Think about that. How for $499? It's a big deal. And most people you sign up have never even owned the company, or if they have owned the company, that's the least amount of work they've ever done to launch a global company. It's awesome. So make a big deal of it. Get them excited. Congratulations, you're now a global company owner. Wow, wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that simple? Man, we're going to get so many people in your organization with their own stores. Man, you don't know what the heck happened. So get them all excited about that. It's very important, right? So here's what you want to do when you're launching somebody. Non-monetary goal first. Monetary goals, then third, talk about the money and how they're going to make the money and long-term success for themselves. Then show the compensation plan, okay? Overriding residual income and the caps. And I do them in that order so they understand and they can follow through, okay? And then I teach them the position. So if you notice, I really spent almost no time on ETT and ETL. Look, I remember when I first was getting started, ETT was confusing. Anybody can relate to ETT and ETL be confusing? I remember for me, every position was confusing because I came from a traditional business background. I didn't understand any of this. So I tried to keep it so stupid simple that a child could understand how to do it. That's why I always kept it so simple now, because I know how hard it was for me. You know, there's benefits of not being the smartest kid or person with the best grades when you're in school, because it teaches you how to dumb things down to keep things simple. That's what I had to learn. You want them to focus on how to get that going, the customers, the new business partners. Now go look at their services, see what they got. And if there's something simple, like if, for example, let's say they're in a complicated contract for something, and you know it'd be too hard to untangle everything, unravel everything. My own personal opinion is I don't work on that on the lunch. Let me do that after their PBR. Let me get them some people into the meeting. Let them focus all their energy, all their strength on inviting. Why? I don't want them learning the services yet. It's too soon. I want them putting all their effort, all their attention on inviting people to the home meeting. I try to make it as effortless as possible for them to launch their business. I want to be there to help them because here's what I've learned, unfortunately. Most people have never owned a business, so they don't know the sacrifice that it takes, the pain. Like nothing ever goes the way you want. Nothing ever goes the way you want. You think just one time, God, please let it go the way I want. It never does. Who's noticed that, right? It just doesn't do that. That's not life. How life is you make a commitment, you make a goal, obstacles come your way to test you to see if you're serious about that goal. And if you're not serious about that goal, then it's almost like God says, really, you're out. I'm taking this away from you. You're not that committed. But if you're willing to go over all those obstacles, you're willing to climb that big tree, you're willing to jump over that wall, whatever it takes to become successful, then you can have whatever it is. So that's the same way I focus with the services. Because think about this. If I've got them at the home meeting, we've got a couple people signing up, people are becoming their customer. First of all, my goal is to always get them QDT from their home meeting. I like the duplication of that. It's exciting. And if they can get their customers and their bonuses from ETL or from EGT, all from their home meeting, man, it's just going to create more excitement for their team coming in to do the exact same thing. Okay? Because imagine you can have somebody make their ETL bonus from their first or second home meeting. Would that be powerful to do if you could do that? And it's entirely possible with the system that you follow, okay? Then after that, enroll them into the customer training. So talk about it. Hey guys, don't worry about it. We have customer training for this. We'll teach you all this. Leadership training. We have leadership trainings when you become an ET and a hire. You can come to these trainings. We have conference calls. And then obviously you have the next international event, okay? Now, what's the result? If by the end of this, you've done it all, they're excited. Before someone comes into ACN or network marketing, do they even do home meetings? No, like they don't even, every meeting for them is in an office, it's outside the house. It's not natural for them or normal for them yet. So we got to explain to them in a logical way why that makes sense, especially if they've never seen one. Okay, that's why they always see a home meeting first before they sign up, so they know exactly what they got to do and what they got to experience, okay? So now they're excited, they're in the system, they see how simple it is, they're set up for success. They know they got a mentor in you, because if you're willing to take all the time to train them, to coach them, to educate them, it's a whole new different thing. And now you've been started down the road to success. And if you can create that kind of duplication, imagine you can sit down with people and you can explain to everybody simply the principle of 10. What do you think can happen to your teams? And if your teams start training that to each person as they launch, because now what all there is to do now is what? Make some phone calls. And if you can book 5, 6, 7 appointments to come to this person's PBR, this person's going to be on fire. They're going to be excited. They see access to their financial freedom, for some of them for the first time ever in their life. So I invite you guys to step up as leaders and take a responsibility in launching people like you've never launched them before. Like imagine that when you're sitting down with this person, their life is about to change. Because their life is about to change. Your life changes every time you can stand for somebody and make a difference that way.